There are dozens of AI apps now promising to fix your job search, and most of them are selling you motion, not results. I sorted them by one question: does this get me an interview, or does it just feel productive? The honest answer is that 2 or 3 are worth paying for, a couple are worth using free, and the rest you can skip. Here is the short list and the logic, so you can build a setup that actually works instead of collecting subscriptions. Start with the category that matters most, because it decides the other two. The tools split into 3 jobs: write and track your applications, check your resume against the posting, and automate the actual submitting. Get the first one right, and the rest is easy. Get it wrong, and you are just sending bad applications faster. For writing and tracking, the strongest all-rounder right now is Huntr. It is a resume builder and an application tracker in one, so every version of your resume and every job you are chasing live in the same place, and it pushes each resume toward the posting. People using it well report around 1 interview for every 17 applications, which sounds modest until you compare it to spraying the same resume and hearing nothing back. If you would rather keep full control and skip any auto-apply, Teal does the same tailoring and tracking and leaves the submitting to you. Either one is a good home base. Pick the one whose interface you will actually open every day. The second tool earns its place only if you have a specific problem: a solid resume that is not getting interviews. That is Jobscan. It scans your resume against a job description, scores the match, and tells you the exact terms and gaps to fix. If you are already getting interviews, you do not need it. If you are getting silence, it is the single most useful thing you can add, because it shows you why the parser is passing you over. The third category is the one to be careful with: automation. Simplify takes the sane approach. It does not apply for you. It autofills the same application form across tens of thousands of company career pages, turning a 15-minute form into about 2 minutes while you review and click submit yourself. That is real-time saved at low risk. The full autopilot tools, the ones that fire off hundreds of applications while you sleep, are where I would stop. Mass generic applications do not just underperform, they get you noticed for the wrong reason. Recruiters can tell when an application had no thought in it, and a flood of those builds the opposite of a reputation. So here is the whole stack, and it can cost very little. Build and tune your resume in one tool. Careerflow's free tier is enough to start. Track everything and tailor per posting in Huntr or Teal. Cut the form filling time with Simplify. That is the system. The pattern across every tool that works is the same. It helps when it makes each application sharper and more specific, and it hurts the moment you use it to apply to more places with less thought. Candidates who tailor with these tools see roughly 2.5 times the interview rate of the ones who automate the spray. The tool is not the edge. Using it to be specific is. More than half of job applicants now write their cover letter with AI. That one fact is why the cover letter is both dying and, in the right moment, more decisive than ever. Because once everyone can generate a polished letter in 5 seconds, a polished letter stops meaning anything. So the question is not whether to write one. It is when a letter still moves the decision, and how to write the kind that does instead of the kind that gets you quietly marked down. First, the honest state of it. Only about 10 to 20% of job postings still require a cover letter, so most of the time it is optional. Ask recruiters what they think, and they split. A little under half call it nice to have, almost a third say it does not help them at all, and only about a quarter have ever seen a cover letter change a hiring decision. So, for a lot of roles, a generic letter is just a box you are checking, and the AI-written box gets checked badly. Here is the part people get wrong. Recruiters are not against AI writing your letter. When they were asked, 80% said they reject an obviously AI-generated letter, the kind that could have been sent to any company, but 63% said they are fine with an AI-assisted letter when it is clearly personalized to them. Put those two numbers together and the rule is simple. They do not care how you wrote it. They care whether it is about them. The generic AI letter is the liability. The specific one, AI-assisted or not, still works. And roughly 1 in 5 recruiters will reject you outright for a letter that reads as machine-generated. So the downside of lazy is real. So when is a letter actually worth writing? 2 cases. The first is when the role is about communication itself: writing, marketing, customer-facing work, anything creative. There, the letter is a work sample, and a good one carries real weight. In heavily technical and engineering roles, it carries far less. So put your energy into the resume and the portfolio instead. The second is when you have something a resume cannot say: a career change that needs a sentence of context, a real reason you want this specific company, a connection to what they are building. If you do not have that, a letter adds nothing, and you are better off without one than padding it with filler. When you do write it, use AI the way it actually helps. Do not ask it to write the letter. letter. Give it your real material, the specific achievement, the reason you want this role, the thing you noticed about the company, and have it shape that into something tight. The structure can be machine smooth. The substance has to be yours, because the substance is the only part a recruiter is reading for. A Wharton economist put it bluntly this year: we are drifting toward AI writing letters that only AI will read. Do not write for that loop. Write the 3 sentences a human would stop on. The free kit has the personalization prompt I use, the one that turns your real details into a letter that does not read like a template, plus a short checklist for when to skip the letter entirely. Link in the description. Next week I turn to the hiring side, and it gets uncomfortable. The bias everyone hoped AI would fix, it mostly hid instead, and in 2026 companies are being sued over it. If you hire, you need to see this one. Subscribe.